Peace. Assalamu alaikum. This is Rahim, your investigator reporter. Uh, this is basically part 2, 12 tribe Hebrew Israelite chart is not authentic, and I want you to hear this for yourself.
347276.
You hear me?
Hey, I hear you, brother. What's going on, man?
Brother Rahim Ali. How you doing, Brother Sal?
Hey, what's up, my brother?
All right, okay. Peace to Josh and Alazar.
What's going on, Rahim?
Tonight, I have to go with Josh, what he said. I understand what Alazar is saying, but like your chart, I'm going to deal with the Seminole Indians, supposed to be Reuben. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now, we're going to deal with that because I don't want to go through all 12 tribes. We're going to deal with that. Now, the Seminoles were basically different nations of native people that came together when the Europeans came here to try to enslave them and went against them. That's when they became Seminoles. They didn't come on a slave ship. Those people, those native people...
We didn't say they came on a slave ship, brother.
Say that again?
We didn't say they came on a slave ship, brother.
I'm saying that. I'm saying it to rectify everything.
Okay.
Just hear me out. They were already here. And have you ever heard of someone called Halada Miko?
No, I have not.
Okay, he was a Seminole chief. Sanofi Tustaniki. Have you heard of him?
No, I have not.
Okay, let me read to you who he was. Sanofi Tustaniki, also known as Abraham, was a Maroon, or a Moor Muslim. Amongst the Seminoles, he was their chief legal counsel and interpreter. It was he that was at Fort Negro in 1816 flying the flag of the Moors of West Africa and the Americas. This was the famous cherry tree that was chopped down, meaning that was the one that George Washington said, and I can't lie, I chopped down a cherry tree. That's the one that they took. And you can get this at the report of Colonel Clinch. He said this, of the destruction of Fort Negro on the Appalachian, July 29, 1816, Washington War Records Office, National Archives. Why I say this is because if you said the Seminole supposed to represent Reuben, and this is saying he was a Muslim or more, then something is not right with that chart, as Josh said. Josh is right about the stranger from the Hebrew, from the Bible, International Standard Bible, and Josh got a Smith Bible dictionary, which I have also. It also talks about a stranger being outside of Israel. Now, based on that knowledge right there, and I can go on, you would have to prove that the Seminoles definitely, from your point of view, from that Bible, and what you're saying, are people of that chart. And what I'm saying, history don't say that. And that's all I have to say. Peace.
I appreciate your call, brother. And Alice, you can reply.
As far as history, I mean, I don't understand how anything, even if there was a Moorish man over in as a chief in the Seminole tribe, I don't understand how that would affect the 12 tribes chart at all. But as far as history, you could just go to the book called Lost Tribes of Promised Lands, where it talks about some of the original European explorers that came here to the Americas and how they told you that they were the tribe of Reuben, and that how that the tribe of Joseph was dwelling nearby. So if we want to do with history, we could do with history. You know what I'm saying? And there's other historical facts substantiating that. But I mean, that was kind of long and drawn out, and I don't understand how that affected or tried to discredit what I was saying at all. But I mean, that's all I got to really say about that.
All right, Brother Josh, you can reply.
Even though I don't agree with the last thing you said about Muhammad being in the Bible, if you do the research on the Seminoles, Rahim is absolutely correct. The Seminoles were not made up of one group of Native Americans. They were a group of several Native Americans that took refuge with each other after the Yamasee War in South Carolina. So if you're going to say the Seminole tribe is Reuben, then you can't take a different bunch of Native Americans who came together and became Seminole and say they're Reuben, because they're not all even from original tribe. They all from over the place, and they formed the Seminole. That would be like me coming from the tribe of Judah, and somebody else come from the tribe of Levi, and somebody come from the tribe of Benjamin.
Okay, there you have it, people. You heard it for yourself. Now, I explained two things to Alazar, right? He only concentrated on one about the Muslim part, but he didn't quite want to respond on the different tribes that I said was here and made up the Seminoles. He didn't want to address that. Now, he claims almost like he didn't hear that, but how come Josh understood it? You see the game he's playing, people? You see? I'm speaking English. I said it. Josh heard it. Josh explained it pretty well, and then his phone dropped. Okay? But let's go into this, because it needs to be addressed. What is a Seminole? Where did this word come from? Seminole is pronounced Seminole. It comes from a Spanish word meaning wild. So right there, it's not even a native word. It comes from the Spanish. Now, we can read, and you see I'm giving you the link where you can go and look this up. Where did the Seminoles come from? When the United States was subduing the nation of the Southeast, members of various tribes who wished to continue resistance formed the Seminole Nation. Originally, it was more of a confederation. The members spoke different languages, but time and common cause weld it into a single nation. Technically, the Seminoles are still at war with the United States. That's one piece of information. They were different tribes. You're making it seem like Reuben was the Seminoles, like Reuben was one nation. You have to go into now which one Reuben is, and you didn't do that. You just said Reuben is the Seminoles, and y'all just believe it. No, we're going to go into it. Now, Encyclopedia Britannica article, another source. So I'm not just giving you one. In Oklahoma, the Seminoles were among the 5 civilized tribes that included the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Creek, and Choctaw, all of whom had been forcibly removed from the southeastern United States by the federal government in the 1830s. So right there, you see it's different nations. Which one did Reuben come from? Or was Reuben? You have to explain that. Now, you're definitely going to have to go into DNA, because you don't know. In 1771, the first recorded usage of the name Seminole to denote an actual tribe was recorded. So this came in 1771 was the actual name. So you also have to show us how Reuben got all the way here from one side of the planet over to the next. You already said it didn't come on slave ships. You already said that. Okay, let's go into this, because this is very important. Indian, as they call them. Facts. The Seminoles occupied the southeastern United States for 12,000 years. They were finally granted U.S. citizenship in 1934. Stop. 12,000 years? See, it's all matching up with my other studies from Dr. Neves and them finding the Clovis tips where they used to hunt with, and they said those people was like 14,500 or 400 years that came over the Bering Straits from Alaska and moved down the coast. Okay, so that's where you have it right there. Okay, my thing is you have to show Reuben being here and when he got here, such and such. We know the Seminoles, as it said, the usage of the word 1771. So if Reuben came over here, he had to use another word. What's that word, Alazar? What tribe did he come from? What tribe do you have that we can actually say it was Choctaw or Cherokee? Because it's not Seminole. That's all me and Josh was saying. And see, you played it off as though you didn't understand me and my dissertation of that. You made it seem like it was long and drawn out. But how come Josh got it? It's beyond me. You got it, but you ran around it. And you definitely couldn't answer that Muslim question, because here's a guy, Sanofi Tustaniki. You know nothing of him. You know nothing of Haladamiko. If you say Reuben came over here and was the Seminoles, you should know some of these chiefs and how they were fighting back. You couldn't answer that. How come I know? Okay? And I pulled up where he was a Muslim. And the thing is, what is a Muslim Moor doing in the Seminoles? Within the Seminoles? You couldn't answer that, so you ran around it. And then you said I was long and drawn out. That's what y'all do. You done used a new one on me now. First, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm flipping scriptures. Now I'm long and drawn out. What are you going to use next? So the whole thing is with Reuben, now it shows a flaw in your chart. That's what it means, Alazar. So my point was made. Surely Josh recognized it. Me and him butt heads. It ain't like we scheming against you. You know what I'm saying? So he agreed with some things I do, and I agree with some of the things he do. Then sometimes we don't. So the chart is flawed, and I'm gonna go into it more with part 3. So stay tuned, people.